Giants. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. And, Charles, you look at this defense, they were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. Then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right.
Well, this defense for the Giants, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Hurts. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 27 yards there on a very nice third down conversion. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
To the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. And the Eagles are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Sanders going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance, they're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
That was a lightning-fast incompletion. He got it, he threw it, it fell to the ground.
What's that expression, life comes at you fast? In this case, the defenders came even faster. Incomplete.
They'll try to run with Sanders. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are on the board first here this afternoon. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got a man open. It's Ricky Seals-Jones. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot. And they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Well, we went from scoreless to 13-0 in a hurry. First, their offense had the touchdown, and now the defense comes through with one.
You can't get a better 1-2 punch than that. Follow up a touchdown offense by getting one on defense. If they keep that effort up, you'll take the other sideline out of this one very quickly.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now 14-0.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Kadarius Toney going to elect to bring this one out. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
And, partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
First throw here taken in as he's able to find Goddard. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 32-yard line.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and a yard. Running right, here's Sanders. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
It's caught. Smith. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this will remain a 2-touchdown game.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Sliding it, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. T.J. Edwards gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot, and here another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole, 3rd and long.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
2 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. Now Jones. That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And this is caught. It's Brown. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Philadelphia. We talk about just coming in and completely seizing momentum. They can go up 21-0 here. We haven't even hit halftime.
And the other part of this, you can start to feel the unrest here in the stadium. I think these fans are saying, what hit us? And this isn't about fantasy points. This is about rooting their team on.
Elliott good with a PAT. And it's now 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Here's Tony to return it as he brings it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 55 rushing yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly. And that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he fires one incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Throwing Jones. Looking for Shepard deep. And they get Jones for the 3rd time in this ball game. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Well, there are several factors at play for why they face this deficit right now, Charles. But well, that's now 3 interceptions that he has thrown and just giving the football away. Pretty careless here in the opening half.
Yeah, I know that all of our parents taught us to share as youngsters. But in this game, you don't want to share with the other team. Keep it for yourself. Keep it for your team. Got to cut down on all of those throws, those errant passes, if they hope to get back into this game.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
Ready.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Hurts. Going across the middle, and Goddard's got it. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 17 yards and a first down for Philly.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. On 2nd and 9, Hurts. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And the Giants are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you've got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
64 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones. Open man is Galladay, complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the 31, Jones. They'll get this out to Barkley, complete. It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A big play that time on the catch and run. 30 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half score.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the former Giant, James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they'll have time for 1 play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that one carries out of the side of the end zone here. So it's a touchback and bring it out to the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
That's complete to Tony. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. So a roughing the passer penalty and an automatic first down.
And that's the mark of a bad team, partner, because that's an easily preventable penalty, but they just didn't take the proper steps to make it so.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. After After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Operating from the gun, Jones.
This one goes out wide for Barkley. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
From the 31, Jones. That's complete left side to Shepard.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Here's Jones from the gun on 3rd down. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete.
And he will have a Giants first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Off play action. Jones. He'll buy some time right. And my goodness, another interception. Darius Slay with a pick.
And the Eagles are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down.
46 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 2nd and 12, Hurts. And his throw here is incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Here's Hurts to throw.
This will be caught by Brown.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
A couple of first downs has the football position at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Sanders. And a loose football. And to the 43. three. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
I don't care what the scoreboard says, partner. You know who's winning this game right now?
Mother Nature?
Yes, indeed. Precipitation's winning in a big way. Sloppy, all these turnovers right now.
Yeah, well, this was the forecast. We got what was forecasted, and we've gotten a lot of turnovers. Barkley, inside handoff. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Back to throw. Jones. And that's caught left side. Seals Jones with it. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now Jones to throw on 3rd down. And he finds Seals Jones complete. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Giants are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Gano the extra point, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Darnay Holmes makes the tackle.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Hurts sets up to throw it. That is knocked away and incomplete, but a penalty flag. In the backfield, this might be a roughing call. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. Man open left side is Brown. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The 2 big plays right in succession as this one goes for 27. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Play action. Here's Hurts. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
You could tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Hurts.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need.
Picked by Julian Love.
Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. On 2nd and 9, Jones. Throw right side, going to be caught by Seals-Jones. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. So they will tread backward on the holding penalty.
And I know that they're going to get coached up and they'll get yelled at a little bit, but let's face it, it is hard not to do at the speed and pace that they play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Looking to throw. Jones. He'll give this one to Galladay.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Jones on 3rd down.
Going right back to Galladay. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Dancing to his left. And this is Shepard on the catch. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on 1st down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal?
Barkley is into the end zone. Touchdown, Giants.
Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the 2nd time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes, pick the proper place to go, and find his way into the end zone?
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line.
He'll start with a handoff to Sanders.
They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. They'll go again with Sanders. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The 71 yards on the ground now for Sanders. He's got a first down. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Sanders up the middle.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
I think as a running back in this spot, you have to understand there's not going to be a whole lot of room to run. And in this case, ball protection takes precedent over trying to make something happen.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And this is incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming 3rd down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum. The other side is starting the game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw here.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
That was a good effort there trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to perhaps salt this one away. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a 1-touchdown game. Now, things just got interesting. They tried for the long field goal there to salt this one away. They don't get it, and now a little time for the other guys to mount a late drive.
Well, they thought their kicker would put it through the post and finish this one off. I'm sure they discussed pooch punting it and letting their defense take over. Well, the defense now has to make it stand up, but they didn't get the best field position because the ball comes back to the line of scrimmage.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there. Picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have as well as the understanding where they are in the field?
Now Jones. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Jones. That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll dump this down to Matt Breida. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he is across and in for the score. And now they can tie the game in the final stages with an extra point.
Or they can go for 2 and go for the win.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we may very well be headed to overtime. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Looking here for Smith downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. We think back to halftime, you know, they were close to being written off. They faced the deficit, and now here's we begin overtime. They're one drive away from a comeback victory.
Think about where they started and how far they've come back from. And look, you and I both know that when we talk with coaches, most of the time they don't say that momentum is something that factors into how they coach a ball game, because they say each game is its own entity. But within a game, I think they all believe in momentum, and they certainly have it going in their direction right now.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll go to Barkley again. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. Up the middle with Barkley. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. They've had some success here in overtime in this opening drive running the football right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you. And until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there and available to them.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. Two minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. Jones, first throw of overtime here to Barkley on the check down. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. Given 5 on the QB run, but it's going to bring up a 4th down. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to at least get him a lead here in overtime. Gano's kick is good, and with it, they have taken the lead. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up, because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, it's pretty simple now. They need a field goal out of this drive to extend overtime, or obviously, Charles, a touchdown to win it.
Yeah, and I'm taking the defense's perspective on this one, partner, because now they know with a 3-point lead, they can afford to give that up because you just keep playing, right? Overtime gets extended. But if you give up the touchdown, it's game over. So on offense, every play you make, you've got to try and get just a little bit more out of each one in order to try and get to the end zone, because they're going to play everyone back, keep everything in front.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw.
Pass complete, Goddard. And he's going to have a first down, but he's tackled inbounds up near midfield.
Now a timeout called for by the offense. It'll be their second and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. He'll look to throw. Oh, it's intercepted. That'll seal it. Picked off by Blake Martinez. And to the 40-yard line.